What is up, guys? Today I ended up taking a loss, unfortunately. Today's market was, it wasn't the best, but we had news today at 10 o'clock. As you can see, this candle right here that kind of just opened up way below. It was super volatile for some reason. It was because of news, but I haven't seen news be that volatile in a while. But overall, I came in with a bullish bias, but I was kind of indifferent to it because we had this 4-hour fair value gap right here that we did not tap into at all today. And so that kind of made me a little weary taking a long setup. And the initial long that I had taken would have worked out, but I got out at break even on that one and then ended up taking a second trade, and that second trade put me at a loss on the day. So it is obvious to us where price wants to head to right now. It is clear as day that it wants to head on over to this 858.75 level that I have marked out here on the chart. Now, the second level that I have here at 818.50 is actually an hourly swing high, or sorry, a 15-minute swing high, I believe. Yes, it is a 15-minute swing high right there. So that was my first take profit, which we never even got, unfortunately. But if we look back on the hourly chart, we did have this 1 hour fair value gap that we did tap into, but we have a very obvious swing low within that hourly fair value gap, which I would have preferred to have taken out before going higher. And as you can see, we had very bad price action, just consolidation throughout the entire day. So I know a lot of people lost, a lot of people ended up break even today. I started off break even. I knew I shouldn't have taken that second trade, and I still did anyway. But hey, it happens. So same thing. 1 hour was bullish. 15-minute was also bullish because of the fact that we closed above this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. News came out, swept that low, so I didn't take any trades until after the news drop at 10 o'clock. So the first trade that I ended up taking was this long right here. And the reasoning behind it was because we did have that drop on news, but we also created a 5-minute fair value gap. And that 5-minute fair value gap was holding us up as support. We also were rejecting the 10 o'clock open. We also rejected the daily open, which are two important levels to look at after 10 o'clock to see how price is acting within it. So because we were, rejecting that, it showed that we wanted to put in a bullish candle for both the 4-hour and the daily. So it made sense to take longs at that point, although I would have loved to have taken out that sell side liquidity first, but unfortunately, like I said, we didn't get that. Now, the trade that I took was within the macro. Now, I was very conservative, and in hindsight, I should have just taken the initial fair value gap getting invalidated, because if I had done that, then I would have ended up green on the day and I wouldn't have just taken that one trade. So the trade that I took was this 1 minute fair value gap right here. I wanted to see that get invalidated first and then getting in. But if you notice, we did have a bullish one that got invalidated. Then we went back to respecting bullish order flow by disrespecting this 1 minute right here. So an entry here with a stop below that swing low, targeting this high, even this high right here, which we ended up getting anyway, right? We did come up to this level right here. Overall would have put me up really great on the day, but I wanted to be conservative, which in hindsight, I gotta stop trying to be so scared because the market does move a little better now. So I should try to start taking better setups like this, a little high risk. I can put on that risk now because of how the market's been moving, right? So my thought process was that if we end up taking out this high, I would either take profit on some, like 25% of the position, and then move the rest to break even, or just move the whole thing to break even. Then we started to come back down, which was okay because we had a 5-minute fair value gap right here. And then that bounce there, I was like, all right, if we end up reclaiming this high right here one more time, then I will move my stop to break even. We were trying to come up higher and we failed to do so. So I moved my stop to break even here, and then boom, I got stopped out. In the New York lunch macro, I would not have taken any shorts because I was still bullish biased. We were still inside that 5-minute fair value gap, and we didn't actually invalidate it until after the macro was over. So at that point, I wouldn't have taken anything. Here in the New York PM session, I looked for a setup but did not find a bearish fair value gap get created to then take going long. We did have one right here, but unfortunately that got stopped out. And the way price was moving, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to take a trade for the rest of the day. But then I thought to myself to have a brilliant idea of taking this 1 minute invalidation right there. I market ordered in, I had a little bit of green, and then boom, I got stopped out. Sucks, right? The real trade that I should have taken, which would have paid out well, and some of my students actually took it, was this 1 minute right there. So if I had gotten in with that, my stop below that low right there, and then I targeted a 1 to 2 risk to reward right over here, that trade would have hit so quick, it would have been insane. Could have taken off the majority of my profit here at this high and then leave runners to potentially getting off right there. As you can see, we tap into those body highs right there for a 1 to 3, and I would have called it a day. So it happens. I mean, what can you do? I was a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, right? I've been trading for 4 years, I'm consistently profitable, but I still have the same emotions that everybody else does, and that's totally fine. So I hope you guys ended up green today. It was definitely a rough market. Do not beat yourself up if you were unable to read the price action. It takes a lot of experience to understand truly where the market's going and then have the confidence to also enter in. So I hope my trade recaps are helping you guys just to see how I view the market now that I've had the experience that I've had. But unfortunately my execution was off today, but regardless, I can still make that back. It's just 1 R lost. I'm still positive on the week, so that's what's important. Tomorrow we come back stronger. We come back with a fresh mindset because today's loss does not determine tomorrow's outcome. And yeah, hopefully you guys ended up green, and I will see you guys later. Peace.